What is up, everyone? Welcome to this episode of Top Rope. Over to this side, I got it right. This side, I have got a man I have seen in person many times, seen him hit a cutter or two. I got my man, Myron Reed. How are you this evening?
Yes, sir, man. I'm doing all right, man. Just living. Yourself?
Doing good, man. We got a nice uh 40-degree day here in North Carolina.
Yeah. It's about the same here too. So yeah, it's like pick what you want to do, man. Be hot or cold. Like
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at like 80 by Friday, I think. So
yeah, just like make your mind up.
yeah, exactly. Like, come on now. And so you brought it up just a little bit before we went live here. You got that middleweight championship from Major
Yes,
League,
sir.
third time, correct?
The three time, three time, three time. Hell yeah, man.
Let's talk about that journey, man.
Yeah, bro. Honestly, it's a crazy ass journey, bro. I remember going, coming in MLW, just being another guy, and you know, get everybody, everybody gets an opportunity, but get my opportunity, and I was just like, they're giving me a ball, so I'm gonna be Kobe with it, man. So it just that happened the first time, and they just kept believing in me, and I felt like each title, in between each title reign, I felt like I got to grow more than I was champion, and I had to like really like sit and think, like, man, like I can't I can't sit here and lose the belt and get motivated. I need to be the same way with the belt. So, I'm back at it again. We're gonna give it one more shot.
Yeah, yeah, because I think that's pretty impressive to not only win a middleweight champion, but to win it three times. Because promotions, they have a lot of guys coming and going in and out. So to
Yep.
stick with it and win it three times, man, that's super impressive.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, got a little muscle emoji here from Jesse's got
Yeah.
it.
Big flex.
And you actually you hit a pretty wild cutter to win it this third time.
Yep.
That
Was one
was
of the wildest ones I hit, man. I just perfect what they say, right place, right time.
a Yeah,
Yep.
because he was coming off the top rope and he was fixing to, hit a move on another individual. And as he's coming down, you just whip it out of nowhere. Like RKO ain't got shit on what you did.
Yeah, man. It's just like I'm laying there and I'm like, I look up and he's flipping and I'm like, what can I do? What can got him? You know what I mean? It's like one of those moments. It's like, what move do I hit? But had to hit one of the finishers.
Yeah, and it was the sequence was like it worked perfectly and it was so well put together that once you grab him and roll him up, a little bit to pin him, it's just like that 1, 2, 3. To me, watching it, that 1, 2, 3 felt like about 10 seconds.
It did. It does. It always does when you're trying to win. It feels like wait a minute. There's no way. That's 3 seconds. It's way too long.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I felt. So I could only imagine, you're like, that was a 1 minute count or something.
Yeah, you're just sitting there. You're like, was that three? No, that's two. Like, just like taking forever to count. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome though, man. You can never have enough gold.
absolutely, absolutely. It shows. It just. I feel like it shows your determination. Like it shows how hard you work. I feel like this is the trophy for the hard work. Because you got to grind and you got to do hard work in silence. And when you get this, that's the loudest trophy ever. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
people are talking then. They're like, congrats, congrats, but they're not saying congrats when you're working. So like you got to work hard,
I think
and it
that's a
shows your hard
very
work.
good point. I think that's a
Yeah,
very good point.
yeah,
Yeah, and that almost is kind of where the work begins once you win a title, because then that just puts a huge, target on your head, and then you've got, 15 or 20 other individuals. It's like fixing to take that
yeah,
guy out.
yeah, man. I feel like at first, like you were saying with the title reigns, man, with when it came to accepting challenges and pretty much accepting that role of knowing you got all those targets on your back, I feel like now I firmly accept that role. But like the first two times, it was just like a surprise thing. Like the first time was definitely like a surprise. The second time was like I was determined, I did it, and I got two in the moment about the win. So like turn around, we lost it to Jerry and in that four-way. So like I was like, you know what, I got to be focused again. We're starting from square one, and it's like life, man. You're gonna mess up over and over again, but as long as you get it right at the end, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, and
Yeah,
you're proof that you've gotten it right a few times now.
absolutely.
And that's you got the belt with Major League Pro. And one of the things I definitely wanted to talk about is I'm a huge trading card collector, huge wrestling trading card collector, and you yourself, you've got quite a few in production, and some of those are from the Jim Lyman Memorial Tournament.
Yep.
And AAW, that's a pretty, I would say, popular name within the independent community. So, what's that been like at such a big, event? Something that a lot of independent wrestling fans look at as like one of the bigger shows.
I can attest to that, bro, because I remember when I was just riding up to the show, trying to get a spot on the show, and I remember how big those tournaments were, going and just watching and watching online, or whether it be DVD as a fan. You knew how big it was, and you also knew how big Jim was to the company.
Hmm.
So once I got in the tournament, I knew that like I had to like perform at the top of my ability, not only to do that for myself, but to do that for Jim. Even though I didn't know Jim, if they're naming a tournament after Jim, and they go as hard as they go about him, he had some kind of hard or some kind of big role that he played with the company. So like I'm like, I'm gonna do my part, and man, it's an honor, bro. It's an honor. It's an honor. It's especially an honor when you grow up watching something, and then you're like, what if I could do that one day, and then turns around, it's literally like a dream. Like I did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, you were in that tournament 17, 18, and 19, was it?
I believe this past year was my fourth tournament, or my third or fourth. Okay, so the first year I went to the second round. I think that was 2017. 2018, yeah, 2018 I went to the third round, which
Mm-hmm.
was semi, I think. And then 2020, I think 2020 they didn't have a tournament because of the pandemic and stuff.
Hmm.
And then 2021 I went to the semifinals again. So like yeah. Yeah, it was. I've been in three of them. It would have been four, but it's three right now.
Absolutely. And I gotta imagine that kind of uh, adds to the validity of not only getting to be, on such a big tournament, but getting to come back multiple times.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I did. I feel like for me, it just showed like when you get in opportunities like that, and you like you're in spots like that. All of that just shows that you were that like your hard work's paying off. Like people got to understand, like, yo, you put the work in, you're gonna get whatever you want in life. So like, and then I'm just glad to see my goals and these things popping off for me. It just makes me feel like, yeah, I'm not stressing and waking up at 5 in the morning, working out every day, or taking care of the kids and blah blah. This is not all for nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah.
I think that makes perfect sense. I think that's a very good way to kind of round it all out. And
Mm-hmm.
you also have a trading card with the Pro Wrestling Revolver from Once Upon a Time in Iowa,
Uh-huh.
which Brian Cage, I think Andrew Everett, and a bunch of those guys were on. What was it like to be at that event as well?
Oh, so for me, like, man, I came up with I think everybody knows that Sammy runs Revolver. Like, but he pretty much is like considered one of my trainers. So like, and he only puts his top students and his top people that he's worked with on those shows. So if you're on that show, you know that you're on that show with some of the best wrestlers in the entire world that anybody would be lucky to have. So like, you gotta, like you said, it's just an honor. It's definitely an honor being on those shows, bro. It's like it's crazy. It's gotten to the point where when you used to have the stuff happen like 3, 4 years ago, stuff would be happening. I'll just be like, yo, what the fuck? This is insane. But now it's like you gotta calm yourself down and you gotta like live in the moment and you gotta just say, like, I know this. This is I've worked for this. This is why this is happening. Because if you don't, then I feel like you'll just be shocked. You'll shock yourself out of your big opportunities. So like you know, you gotta accept your role.
Yeah, just kind of, take it in, take it minute by minute, and just roll with it.
Yeah.
And I just mentioned Brian Cage, who was at Once Upon a Time in Iowa, and if I'm not mistaken, you beat him in the Memorial Tournament to go to the
Yeah.
second round. And now he's in AEW. Hasn't been used quite as much lately, but what's that like having a win over a guy that's signed in AEW and all that good stuff?
Dude, when it happened, I was just like, I was more shocked than he was probably. For real,
Yeah.
man. Because I don't care what anybody says. Like, especially, I think, was it 2017? So I was like 20, 21 years old. And seeing a guy like Brian Cage standing across the ring from you, come on, man. Oh, come on, man. I was so nervous.
Yeah, yeah, because I don't know if anybody watching knows who Brian Cage is, but the dude's the size of a small house.
No, just go to Google, look up Brian Cage, and I promise you're gonna be like, yo, this guy has muscles on muscles on muscles. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and then when they go to Google, and then they're gonna be like, "Well, damn! Now that I've seen Brian, it's 20,000 times more impressive that Myron got the win over him."
yeah, yeah. That's a big win for me. I'm gonna always hold that one over him.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I would too. Just kind of slide it in every now and then.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And another thing I wanted to bring up because I think this is a major accomplishment, and I don't think too many people will look at it as something official. But in 2021, you were ranked in the top 20 of the top 500 Black pro wrestlers in the independent circuit. Man, that's amazing.
No, yeah, man. It was definitely an honor when I seen it, but me being me, I was like, damn. Now I can't stop till I get to the number one spot. Like, like it's on from there. Like I love that competitive nature. Like, and I don't know. I just feel like when I see lists like that, those
Mhm,
lists always just motivate me more. It gives me a spot to know like I'm well respected where I'm at, but I want more respect. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very respectful. I'm thankful for them even considering me being in it. Thankful
mhm.
for them putting me in their top 20 out of 500 when there's even more than 500 fucking black wrestlers. That is definitely an honor. These things are definitely great achievements, but my like the way I am, I just feel like, man, I got to go for that number one spot. Like, and really any competitive person is going to feel the same way, you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And are you willing to take out anybody and everybody to get to that number one spot?
Hey, what did Kobe say? I'm making the list. I'm checking it twice, and I'm cutting everybody off. I'm doing the same thing, man. I'm, I'm looking at the list. I looked at 19, 18, 17. I said, "Hey, I care about you guys. I love you guys, but see ya." Like, yeah, back of the line. Like, you know what I mean? I can be 19, you can be 20. I can be 18, you can be 19. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
can be right behind me, but I gotta get my spot, man. I gotta get my spot.
I love that. I love the competitiveness and that it just never stops.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. I feel like that's what makes this shit fun.
Yeah, because I mean, to me as a fan, I I tend to analyze the matches a little bit, but above all, I want there to be a story to be told. And because I mean, I'm old school, and in my opinion, not to go on a whole rant, but I think that the 5 or 10 minutes, 5, 10, 20 minutes, people in a ring, I think they're getting away from a story being told inside the ring.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, me as a fan, like I want to be. entertained, and I want there to be a story to be told, and I don't think me personally, there doesn't have to be 36 spots in a match for it to be entertaining and to have a story told, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm 100% in agreement. Uh, but I do feel like if you're gonna do a lot of spots, which is cool.
Hmm.
Um, I do a lot of spots sometimes. I just as long as it fucking tells a story, man. It don't make no sense, or it makes sense and it's not making no sense. Then I feel like go for your spots. But like you said, I'm more of a like, if I'm listening to music, I like the hard stuff that I don't want to hear too much lyrics because it's too much to process, I feel like. So like I'm like I got to go back and listen to it again. I got to pause the song. So like for me like it's the same thing with wrestling. It's
Hmm.
like people don't want a whole lot of spots they got to dissect. They want the hits. Like they want the hits, but like get me to the hits. I don't want oh long spot, long spot, long spot, long spot, hit. Like, if they don't, especially if they don't make no sense if you're not building. But if it's like long spot, 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 and it makes sense, it's like, oh my God, like it's lit. Like, so it's just,
Exactly.
finding that balance.
Yeah, you're speaking my language, man. You're right down my
Oh yeah.
alley with that one. And there are matches, like you were just saying, there are matches where tons of spots work and make sense, and you think about it, and you're like, well, the match really wouldn't have worked without those. And then
Mm-hmm.
there's moments like they're going for like their sixth or eighth spot, and you're just like looking at it, you're watching, like, man, this one's maybe gone on a little bit longer than it should.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, like you saying, the shit needs to be fun, and the shit has to be fun. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I feel like on the indies, like they gotta start like cutting their matches down a little bit, man. Like when I go to these indie shows, they be like, "Yeah, 30." I'm like, "Yo, ain't nobody chilling for no 30 minutes. Like that's 3 matches right there, bro." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they want to see this stuff, but they don't want to sit here and all day unless it's like the main event or something. Like, fuck. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I'm on your team on that one.
And the thing to me about longer matches is once you get like halfway, a third of the way through, there's like you start getting into false finishes, and then by the time you get to like your second or third false finish, you're like, all right, this is kind of ran its course here.
Yeah, I just feel like it's not a false finish if people know you're gonna kick out to it. Like you got to hit like moves that you like. Hey, finish, man. Come on, man. You can't use the same. Come on, man. It's like using the same moves people kick out to every match. Come on now. Like the fans know. They know. Fans ain't dumb.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right about that one. And I think I'm not saying some don't recognize it, but I think some get too caught up in like I'm gonna hit this one spot and it's gonna be a viral clip or something to that effect.
Yeah, I feel like that, but like I also feel like some people do it with good intention. Like they want to just give the fans a show by hitting crazy ass shit. But like at the end of the day, we all fell in love with wrestling from the storytelling. Not we didn't just watch it. If we wanted just like moves and spots, like we'd go watch Marvel and you know what I'm saying? Like Marvel, DC, like they're beating each other up, they're doing superhero shit the whole movie. Like go watch that. Like we came for the stories. It's pretty much acting, bro. Like it's like a movie.
God, yeah, man, I could just throw my hand up and just tell you to preach.
Nah, man, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. People got to listen to the fans.
Yeah. And the as a fan, the first time I ever saw you in a match, it was at the ALW, and Jesus Christ, you and Malachi had a freaking.
Oh, that was the first one.
That was the first time I seen you in person, and
Oh
like
yeah.
I legitimately, like, this is gonna sound so weird, and I don't mean it like that. Like I legitimately, like, when I left there, like I felt like I had just like had surgery or something like that. Like it was all I could think about. It was just like it was mind blowing. Like it changed my life, and I for the next like 2 days, like I just get like I thought about that match so much and how good it was and how everything worked, how the story was told, how you put him over at the right times, how he puts you over at the right
Yeah,
times.
that's what it's about, man. I
Yeah,
feel
and
like yo, that Malachi dude is gonna be something special one day. Like, and I'm not talking like one day, like later, like soon. Like he's gonna be. When I wrestled him that day, I already knew how good he was from watching and hearing about him. But when I wrestled him that day, I was just sitting there and I was like, yo, like after the match, I was like, how old is this kid again? It was like 17. He's like 16 or 17. I'm like, bro, this guy's so fucking good, bro. Like, he gets it. He gets it. Just like enjoy him now because in like the next 5 years, him and his friend, was it Jackson Drake?
Yep.
Them two, they're out of here in the next 5 years, bro. I'm telling you. Enjoy them now. Spend your money on them now because 5 years from now, you're gonna have to pay a lot of money to see them compared to now. I'm serious, bro. Like, soon as they get eight, I don't even, it might hit 8 at 18. As soon as they hit 18, they might be up out of here. But like, those kids are fucking insanely good, bro.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you said that because it's the absolute truth. And um, I think Jackson and Malachi, they kind of split a little bit. They were in a faction together and they went their separate ways. And I think it was after the new year, I think it was earlier this year, maybe him and Jackson and Malachi went at it at Firestar.
I
And
heard about that match.
exactly. And to me, I love independent wrestling. I love everything about it. And to me, that was like, I mean, that was like, Brock versus Roman to me. I was like, I can't miss this. I have to
Yeah.
be like, we're going, make plans, clear the schedule, we're going.
And what'd you think? Did you enjoy it? You like the match?
Absolutely, absolutely, I did. It
Yeah.
was they brought out the props, the tax and all that, and
Oh shit,
they
yeah, they're wild. They're
yeah.
wild.
And Jackson, man, he's just, I mean, he's so insane. Like, I don't want to say he likes to bleed, but he definitely doesn't mind it.
Nah, man, they're 17 right now, bro. They're about to get crazy. Like, I remember when I was like, I'm not gonna speak like I'm like 50 or something, but like I'm 25. Like when I was 18, 19, like 17, 18, 19. This time I was in the backyard, bro. I was going crazy doing the dumbest shit you could think of. So, and they are at that age, but they're actually being seen like
Mhm.
professionally, like they're in it already. So, like, their crazy days are like just beginning. Like, they're about to get really nutty, probably. I can only imagine.
Yeah, it was oh my God, it was so good. And the kind of, piggyback off that a little bit, that was the same way when when you showed up at Hit Club, I guess about 3 weeks to a month ago.
Mhm.
Um, I'd seen you a couple of times before that, and so I just told my wife, I was like, there's a lot of people on the show that I wanted to see, but I was like, I have to go see I have to go see Myron. Like, that's
No,
like,
that means a lot to me. I hope I deliver, man.
you did, man. You and what was it? Cam
Cameron
Jackson. Is that?
Jackson.
Yeah, you
Yeah, he's
guys, man.
another one, bro. That North Carolina scene, dude, like they got a big group of really talented guys, bro. Like it's looking good. Wrestling's looking good. Like there's every in like I remember like 3-4 years ago, you can only find a handful of people in each like state or city. Now
Mhm.
it's like groups of talented people, like just talented wrestlers everywhere, bro. Like wrestling's only gonna get better. Like it's so many great wrestlers coming up.
And I'm so glad you said that because I was, I absolutely do not get like caught up in like the internet wrestling community and like
Yeah.
what people say on social media, their thoughts and opinions, because 99% of it is just pointless and useless. But I seen an article where today, actually, as a matter of
Mm.
fact, and I was going to get your opinion on it as a person who holds a belt with an independent promotion. And it was an article on Matt Cardona, who just got his eighth belt from an eighth independent promotion. And there was
Mhm.
so many comments of people saying independent wrestling is trash and that holding an indie belt means nothing. And I just don't understand how you can say that somebody worked 4, 8, 10, 12 years to get means nothing. Like, how?
Yeah. It's like saying an actor can't win a Grammy and an Oscar. Like, if they work hard enough, they probably can. Like, I mean, shit. Like, this. I mean, that means they're working hard. That means companies. When someone puts a belt on you, that means that that company relies on you, bro. They trust you. They trust you to have great matches. They trust you to tell good stories. They trust Matt Cardona. That's why he gets these belts. Motherfuckers, if you want belts, work harder. Like, yo, they putting a belt on him because he knows how to fucking get heat. He knows what he's doing, bro. He's been there, done that. Like, and that's okay. Everybody has their time. Keep grinding.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right about that, and it just blows my mind that people, going back to what you just said about there's so much going on, like positively, and so much talent coming up in independent wrestling. There are far better individuals in the ladies and men's division in independent wrestling than there are in AEW or WWE right now, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
agree. No, I agree.
And I've gotten a lot of slack for saying that. And I watch AEW and WWE. I watch AEW more, but
I
I
watch it all. I don't care if somebody has a problem with me watching it all, man. I feel like wrestling is at an all time high right now. I love wrestling. That's all that matters to me. Like I watch it all. I watch me. I watch MLW, AEW, New Japan, fucking WWE, NW. I don't watch NWA as much, and I know I'm fucking wrong for it, but like
nah,
watch that too. Like you know what I mean. I don't watch everything, but like I watch as much as I can, and I say
and
watch everything.
yeah,
One second.
and
Hold on, buddy. Jesus. All right, sorry about that. One of the
oh,
kids woke up. One
you're
of the
good, man.
boys
I
woke up.
totally understand. But yeah, like you were just saying, I've been saying for the last probably 6 to 8 months now, there's no better time to be a wrestling fan, whether you like the shit that's on TV, whether you like independent wrestling or both, because
Yeah,
a lot of people they gravitate towards this is, AEW, WWE, and for the longest time there was no competition. It was WWE, and that was it. But now you've got AEW, and I like AEW for Dark and Dark Elevation because they showcase some of the best independent talent there is.
yeah, they
And
do. Yeah.
I think you should have been on there by now, but that's just my opinion.
No, it's not one of those things. It's one of those things where I'm signed with MLW, so like um I'm not gonna do anything like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just not gonna happen. Like it's just I, my contract lets me do independent wrestling shows and MLW. So like until that's up, you know what I mean? Until I'm not there no more, which I'm not hoping for that, but that's just what it's gonna be for now. But I mean, I'd love to wrestle some of the guys there. I've pretty much came up with a lot of those guys. Like a lot of those guys, like when I was coming up, like I was seeing them at shows. You know what I mean? So like, it's really cool to see another company come in and give wrestlers a job that can pay them that much money because they're paying. I mean, these guys, wrestlers are getting paid now. Like, we're not broke for real no more. We are broke, but we're not broke for real no more. Like, if you get signed, you're actually gonna get paid now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got Impact, you got all these companies
Mhm.
that's paying wrestlers decent, well money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
I
great.
yeah, and I think I'm so glad to see that too because I don't think it was that way for years, but I think people in promotions realize that like, hey, if we want to be a competitor, we want to be up there with the big dogs, then maybe we should
Mhm.
start signing and paying some guys. And it once again, it translates to the fans and what goes on in the ring.
Yep, agreed.
Do you have a do you have a favorite wrestler right now? Like
Ooh.
like TV, big
Uh,
time, everybody knows kind of thing.
as far as as a fan, like mainstream, like big name wrestlers, like I'm a really big fan of Roman. I love Roman. I love Kenny Omega. The Young Bucks are awesome. Like, I'm a fucking geek, bro. Like, I like all the dope guys, like the guys that I was watching fucking Adam Cole and the Bucks and all of them at PWG. That's how I got into wrestling. So like, I'm still a fan. But and also with Roman, the Shield, like Seth
Mhm.
Rollins, like those Dean Ambrose, like those guys, like did a whole lot for me when it came to wrestling because I'm still young myself. So like they were on the come up when I was still like early teens and stuff like that. So I feel like I feel like Roman and Kenny are like my favorite two right now.
Yeah, I can agree with
Other
that.
than me, I think I'd be number one, but like then it'd be Roman and then Kenny.
Yeah, always number one's always got to look out for number one.
Yep. Yeah.
Is there a wrestler that's on your radar that you haven't worked yet that you want
Uh,
to lock horns with?
well, I don't know because I can't even really answer that because I've in my wrestling career, bro, I've had in the 6 years I've wrestled close to 800 matches. So I've wrestled a lot of people that I want to wrestle, but there's a lot of people that I'd love to wrestle again. And I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna go back with my ADHD for a second. And you
Or
you were asking about my favorite wrestlers. I said Kenny and Roman, but if I had to pick like someone like Indy wise, like
Mhm.
that isn't super known, it'd be like Jackson and Malachi. Like I promise you, it'd be them. Like they're gonna be so great, bro. Like, and when you see them hit that potential, you're gonna be like, I fucking watched these kids when they were fucking teenagers.
agree,
That's the
agree.
cool thing about being a fucking independent fan, and that's why like more fucking fans need to watch the independent scene. It's like watching college. It's basketball and seeing who's coming to the NBA next, or watching high school basketball. Like it's the same shit. Like scout,
Same.
even if you're gonna see a couple guys you might see that's in the WWE in a few years at those shows, or AEW, or just somewhere big.
1,000% correct. A
Yeah,
1,000% correct. I'm gonna go with D. Strongly agree on that one.
hell yeah, yep.
And that's gonna do it, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. I had a lot of fun. Tell
Yeah, man.
everybody
Thanks for having me
where
on.
they. Yeah, absolutely. I got all your social media links in the description down here. It's already a hyperlink. They just got to click it and it brings it right up. So super simple. Made it easy for everybody. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, man, he made less talking for me. I'm happy. But like you said, all the links will be down below. So give me a follow. I got music coming out soon.
Mm,
Me and a friend of mine named Nate, we are making some really like what do they call it? It's not just in the moment music, but it's gonna be music that people listen to for years. I feel like, and
hmm
we're calling it Rocket World 3. It's our third edition of it. So um, that's coming soon. More matches, more everything, And I appreciate you having me on, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I said, I definitely appreciate it. If I can do anything for you going forward, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll do what I can. I
Sounds good.
always support those who support me, and I definitely appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
That's gonna do it. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode of the Top Rope Over the Top Rope as much as I did. I hope everybody has a good night. Have a good one.